2 in 3 Americans now say the country's going the wrong direction. Half of them say it could require armed revolution. The New York Times notes America's prepping movement, people preparing for the worst, has now gone mainstream.
Syrian state television is reporting that Syrian soldiers entered a number of tunnels that had been used by rebel fighters in Damascus, and there they found empty shells, the remnants of chemical agents. This comes as the United States starts moving its naval ships in the Mediterranean closer to the Syrian coast. The indications on the ground are that the first wave of preparations for any kind of military intervention inside Syria are underway, and that the US and in particular the Navy is just waiting for the green light.
Seeing quite a lot of chips come into place here, Paula. You talk about the military posturing on the part of Washington with a fourth warship heading to the region.
Barack Obama and David Cameron have threatened Syria's government with a serious response if it's confirmed the authorities in Damascus gassed hundreds of people on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Assad's administration has warned against a US-led intervention, saying the move would set the Middle East ablaze.
Now to the deepening crisis in Syria. Today, Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel said the U.S. is preparing for all options there, as speculation rises that the U.S. is planning to strike. This as doctors inside Syria confirmed they treated thousands of people who were victims of what appears to be a chemical attack. Our chief foreign correspondent Richard Engel is in Turkey near the Syrian border this morning. Richard, what's the latest?
Over the last several days, they've received large shipments of weapons, tons of weapons going to the Syrian opposition, coming through Turkey, in fact, coming through this area. And they also say that they believe they have evidence that Bashar al-Assad personally ordered those alleged chemical attacks on the outskirts of Damascus.
We're reporting from a region on the brink, and all eyes are on Syria, where an apparent chemical weapons attack could lead to American military action. Here in Cairo, we're just 100 miles from the Mediterranean Sea, where U.S. warships are now at the ready. This morning, officials tell ABC News that U.S. Navy destroyers now in the Mediterranean could be used to carry out limited military strikes. Cruise missile strikes.
What a lot of analysts are already describing as the turning point in a regional conflict between Sunni-allied states and Shia-allied states. So it's a very dangerous situation that a military intervention could make much bigger and much, much worse.
U.S. warships are moving off the coast of Syria, preparing for an attack. This is what is the reality, and this is what many of us have feared for many years now. This is bigger than just war with Syria. What we're talking about here is World War III.
It's likely cruise missiles launched from those destroyers, targeting key Assad military command posts.
When this day comes on the earth, it's going to be a day of destruction and trouble like no other. You have never experienced this in your life. There's never been a time when the earth is going to occur on a amount of destruction. The Lord is about to bring total hell, famine, death. There's going to be race riots out here.
This is Zechariah. Chapter 14, verse 1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thou spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle.
But he will gather all nations that fall against our people to battle. That's what's coming, a race war. You blacks and Hispanics gonna have to fight these crackers, man.
Meditate terror. That's what's gonna come. And that's when your faith is gonna be tested, like I said. Your faith is gonna be tested, man. You gotta get ready for that day.
So I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle.
The battle, read.
And the city shall be taken.
And the city shall be taken. All the cities where you blacks and Hispanics live shall be taken over by martial law. Just like Boston was. During the Boston bombings, read.
And the house is roofed.
And your house is roofed, read.
And the women ravished.
Women shall be ravished. Women shall be ravished, which means what? Rape.
The concentration camps is already built, man. The concentration camps is already built. See, what this devil does is he'll close down a business or close down a building, and they won't knock that building down. They'll keep it up. And they'll put fence around it. They'll barbed wire the fence so it makes you stay in. And they just preserving that building for a concentration camp. They'll keep maintenance on it. You know, they'll keep the building to a point where it's not going to collapse. They'll keep it maintenance up. But in the future, that's going to be a concentration camp.
There's going to be race wars, there's going to be civil wars, there's going to be violent protests. You're going to have people fighting against martial law with their guns, fighting against militarized policemen with their guns.
Nationwide protests, hunger strikes and sit-ins are currently sweeping the United States, notes the website Popular Resistance, but with a corporate media blackout of any news that threatens their paymasters, a more realistic portrait of America today, maybe at the cinema. This is The Truth Seeker.